This is the Greys Tital, and it's Greys' big game, high performance fly reel. And today, I'm here to review it. If you're not already familiar with the Greys brand, you probably should be. They've been making really fantastic, lower priced rods and reels for a long time. And while they exited the US market for a little bit, they've been back for a while, and we've really enjoyed some of their products, especially in the rod category. In the reel category, like this Tital, they've been a little bit more hit or miss. And so today we're going to talk about this reel in particular, why we like it, and maybe some of the reasons why you might not like it. And we're going to start, like we always do, by talking about the drag. The drag on the Tital goes from 0 to hero in 2.5 turns, which is about the right number of turns. You'll see that on great reels like the Hatch Iconic, and lots of reels that we've really liked over the years. It's also got a really nice sealed drag system, although because we can't test it, we actually don't know how well it's going to perform, but Greys says it's sealed and we believe them. That means it's going to be a saltwater safe reel. And in fact, Greys labels this particular 7/8 Tital as the AW edition. So that's going to stand for all water. So this is going to be designed for saltwater use. And that's kind of why this is the big game version of the Greys Tital. And of course, they also make it in bigger sizes like this 910 here, but today we're going to focus on this 7/8 model. And you're probably asking yourself, how much drag does that 2.5 turns give you? Well, the answer is quite a bit. If I were a guessing man, I'd say it's probably in the 5 to 7 pounds of drag range. It's a lot. It's definitely more than you're going to need for bone fishing, striped bass, and all those saltwater species. Now let's move on to the spool. We've got a max diameter of 3.9 inches, a width of about 1.1 inches, and an arbor size of about 2.58 inches. And that's going to yield some really interesting capacities. With your standard 8-weight line, you're going to be able to fit almost 300 yards of backing on here. Because of the design of the spool that has that U shape, we weren't able to really exactly calculate backing capacity. So I'd err on the safe side of that. Let's say 250 yards for sure. It's also going to pick up line quite quickly. We've estimated it at 9.5 inches per turn, which is really pretty fast for a mid to lower priced 8-weight reel. And another way to think about that is it's going to pick up your 100 feet of fly line in about 126 turns. And I think more impressively, that 9.5 inch number really matches some of the higher end saltwater reels on the market today. And so you're getting a lot of performance, at least from a retrieval rate standpoint, on this much lower priced reel. Now let's talk about the weight. And the weight on this Tital is 7.9 ounces, which is again, not too heavy. For about $250, you're getting a ton of performance here. This Tital has the dimensions, weight, and performance of much higher priced reels like the Hatch Iconic. Up next is going to be the sound, and well, why don't you take a listen? As you can hear, it is very muted. I'd say this is one of the most muted reels out there on both incoming and outgoing. Bottom line, you're gonna get little to no feedback audibly on this reel. And last but not least is gonna be ergonomics. And if there's one area that I would personally change on this Greys Tital, it's that. This drag knob here is way too small, way too thin. It's quite hard to adjust, really hard to crank down, and just doesn't really work that well. Those same things apply to the spool release, which is also pretty small in diameter and way too thin for my liking. But we don't play with that spool release anywhere near as much as the drag. And that story carries over to the handle, which is also a little bit too small for my liking and definitely too small for a true saltwater reel. That said, I prefer the handle to the drag knob, but both are definitely usable if this is the reel for you. And like I already mentioned, this reel comes in at just a hair under $260, and I think that makes it a really great value. Sure, some of the ergonomics are not fantastic, and you're definitely not going to get that fantastic sound out of it, but if you're looking for a beginner saltwater reel that does everything more or less as well as some of the better saltwater reels, you've got it. And of course, this reel has a full cage, so if you're looking for a spay reel, this will also do that for you as well. Tell us what you think about this Greys Tital or any Greys reel by leaving us a comment in the box below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we've got a lot of great reel reviews coming right up. I'm Ben, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.